Well, welcome back to my home. This will be the last time uh, you'll be here by video. You're welcome here anytime you want to come. Just knock on the door, and if I'm here, you're welcome to come in. But this is going to be the final video. This is the 8th video, and I try to save the best till the last, so to speak. I'm going to start out with a quote. The greatest 2 days in a person's life are the day that they're born and the day that they know the reason why. That's from Mark Twain. You know, Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer, that guy. Great humorist, great author. And that quote has been used many times. I'm going to use it as my focus today on my short video. And what I would like to do is tell you a story using this quote as a background. I'm a lucky guy. I'm sure other people would say the same thing. But I'm a very lucky person. I came to live in this house that I'm sitting in talking to you in now, in 1952 with my two aunts, my father's two sisters, and my older aunt, Aunt Ora's husband, Dr. A.H. Hayes. I grew up here. I went to school in the school system of Fairmont. I graduated in May of 1964 and had plans to go to college. And then I did a very dumb thing. Some people might not consider it dumb, but looking back on it now, it was dumb. I accepted an invitation from my best friend and some of his friends with him to go out 3 miles outside of town and go swimming in a farm pond. They call them irrigation holes or irrigation ponds. Big dirt pile on one side, you run down the side, you jump in the water. And I did that 3 or 4 times. And the fourth or fifth time down, I landed very incorrectly and broke my neck. Didn't know it was broken at the time. I just thought maybe I'd knocked the wind out of myself, but I had to be put in a car and taken to Lumberton to the hospital. They determined that I did have a severe neck injury, and they sent me to Duke, where I spent the next 10 weeks. I had already gone up and tried out for a baseball team where the college I was going and was promised the position of first base because the senior first baseman was graduating. My coach thought that Coach Power thought I was what was needed at first base. So I knew I was going to be playing baseball. I also had made up my mind after watching the Zapruder film of President Kennedy's assassination when I was 17 that I was going to go into the United States Secret Service because I thought that was a high and noble profession. On July the 3rd, 1964, all that ended. And I found myself waking up on July 4th, Independence Day, in a bedroom, in a bed in Duke Hospital, where I spent the next 10 weeks. And I was bitter. To say I was bitter is an understatement. 18 years old, 5 weeks out of high school, career destroyed, future in question. Yeah, I was angry, very angry. And I made life miserable for a lot of people that wanted to help me, nurses, my aunts, doctors, etc. Well, as time went along, I must have attracted the friendship of one of the interns named Dr. James Holsinger, him in his mid to late 20s himself, just a few years older than me. And one day, he came in to my room about halfway through with a gurney. Actually, it was a wheelchair, an orderly, and himself, by himself, not with all the other doctors. And he said, "We're going to take a little trip." So the orderly got me in the wheelchair, and we went to 7 rooms on the same hall that I was on. And in every room, there was a man or woman, young man or young woman, laying in a bed, some with crutch-filled tongs, those metal tongs in your head, some without, some with neck braces, some without. And after small talk, we went out into the hall, and each one of those people, said Dr. Holsinger, was paralyzed from either the waist or the shoulders down and would never move a muscle again below that. He then took me back to my room, put me back in the bed, took a Parliament cigarette out of his pocket. Obviously, this was staged. Stuck it in my face and said, "Do you see how the recess is on that cigarette?" And I said, "Yes, Doc, I see it." He said, that's how close you came to never moving a shoulder muscle from there down. Ever. Ever. He said it twice. Again. In that instant, my life changed. Because in that instant, I knew he would not lie to me. That's the first time anyone told me by my prognosis, the future. And then he said, and you're the only person on this floor currently that will walk out of this hospital on your own two legs. 5 weeks later, on September the 10th, he came and got me, put a weight belt around my waist, gave me my brace that was built into a shoe, helped me put it on, and with the use of a walker, we walked out to the elevator, downstairs, walked outside where my aunts were in the car waiting. And he said to them, take him home. He's okay. You'll be all right. And then he stepped back and looked in the back window and said to me, you have earned a very special place in life. You're the only person out of 8 people in the last 10 weeks who will walk out of this hospital. All the others will not. Now go home and do something special. So I did. A year of rehabilitation with my Methodist pastor, Pastor Paul Browning. I went to college 4 years. I graduated, didn't play baseball, but I graduated in May of '69. And then I came home. And the reason I came home was because my former principal, Dr. Don Johnson, had a teacher who was going to retire. And she said she was going to retire. And then in the last moment in July, she said she wasn't going to retire. So the job he promised me fell through. I had not applied anywhere else. So I came home. And my dear friend and former superintendent, Mr. Leon McLean, heard that I was in search of a job, called me up, offered me a job at Marietta. I took it, and the rest is history. I taught at Marietta for a year, Fairmont High School for 29 years, Dillon High School for 7 years, Lakeview High School for 3, and then went back as a volunteer. What I'm trying to say to you today, face to face, using this technology, is that God played a major role in my life from 1964 until this second. There are things that have happened to me that should not have happened, but they happened because God made them happen. He gave me the position that you voted for me and others, but he gave me the position that I currently hold. He will give me this position to hold again, if that's in his plan. I don't question it. I don't worry about it. I know that God has me in his hands. And so I know without any question that the greatest 2 days in my life were the day that I was born, June the 4th, 1946, and the day that I know the reason why. Because I know that I was put on this earth to serve others. There's no other reason behind it. It can't be. Everything I've ever done has been involved helping others. Thousands of young people, citizens of this town. And all I'm asking you in these last few minutes of us being together is that you help me with God's plan, the plan he has for me, and allow me to serve another term as the mayor of my beloved Fairmont, North Carolina. You will win. I will win. The town will win. And so I'll leave you using this technology. I hope to see you next Tuesday at the polls. If you've not already voted, I hope to see you. I'll be outside with some of my friends, and we'll say hello and give you a nod and hope you'll vote for us. Because that's what it is. It's all about us. It's not about me. I'm just here to serve you. God bless you. God bless Fairmont, and thank you so much for listening to my videos.